Hello and welcome. Today I am back into the Bedrock Edition of Minecraft with some redstone. Is that a coral reef? Anyways, the reason why I'm back is, as I said in a couple episodes ago, where you said let's talk about our community, and I kind of talked about stuff and things like that, and one of the things that I mentioned was I haven't been doing much Bedrock Edition kind of redstone, because I kind of ran out of things to do. It felt a bit difficult with kind of the limitations, especially if you continue to compare it to Java Edition. It's kind of like, oh, I want to try and create this from Java Edition, but then you realize it's kind of impossible. But there has been some new changes to redstone, which means that you not only get like new creations in the Java Edition, you also can get new creations in the Bedrock Edition. Meaning, I have been experimenting with honey blocks and the new Nether update stuff. Now, one of the things that I said in that other video is that I tried to make a maybe more compact or a better version of the two-way flying machine using the new honey blocks, but through some testing I couldn't really find anything. I may go back to that, I don't know, but that's not what today's video is. Today's video is about the Nether update. Now, I did a test of this before, and it didn't work, but it works now. Now I can do this, which is really cool, because if you've seen Mumbo's video going over this, he made a really cool bridge on it, and that made me really motivated to try something like that on the Bedrock Edition, as I know it'll be something that'd be actually pretty cool. But I found that didn't work, but I was like, hey, I want to do some Bedrock Edition redstone anyways, so I tried to make it like a nether wart farm a while ago, but lots of problems, lots of issues. The main issue being, you can see I was being a bit ambitious, as I always am, and I tried to make an 8, or is this 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? A 12 chance, basically nether wart farm, and yeah, 1, that's pretty ambitious. 2, it doesn't work because actually with the tree generation, it actually replaces any blocks that are next to it, which would include the pistons that are next to it. So it kind of broke this a lot and things like that. So I kind of moved on to here. And you can see I started creating this. This is actually a copy of Ilmanga's design, maybe with a few modifications for Bedrock Edition, kind of things like that. And like I said, I tried to add the pistons there, but then you can see these, that normally they're not that far out. Normally they're right here. That's probably how far they go out, but then you'd have to have a piston that pushes basically from here to here, which is a triple piston extender, which isn't too bad, but I think on some cases it kind of extended out one more. So I was like, either a flying machine or TNT. So I was like, I'll just do TNT. So I set up a TNT thing here, made a duplicate, and I timed it all out. Works perfectly fine, as I perfectly showed there. For some reason now the TNT kind of glitches over there, but it was working before. And I timed it up perfectly, and then I get it up and running, and this huge tree spawns, which doesn't normally happen, but it did happen this time. And the reason why this is such a bother is because there's a dispenser right here, and it just deleted it out of existence, and all the bone meal was everywhere. As soon as I opened up this world, the bone meal is still here, but with me doing other stuff, it despawned. But this pretty much makes it impossible, because it's like if this tree spawns, then I basically can't bone meal the nether wart at all, so it kind of made that impossible. So I left that for a while, and I came back yesterday, and I tested this, and this works. So I went on over into the nether. As you can see, I went on over to the nether, and I started creating a machine that would rule the world. No, just a machine like this. So this is the first design here, using honey blocks, slime blocks, things like that. Actually, I believe now, I don't think it was the case before, but if you power something through, I don't have them observed, but if you if you power something through a slime block, I don't think it actually powered the piston, unlike in Java. But now with a honey block, I saw in Java that this is basically a transparent block, so it didn't power through, but apparently in Bedrock Edition it actually powers through both of them, which is a good change, because then it doesn't add on one more block to the push limit of putting a honey block there and an observer there and things like that. But I wanted to make, the first one that I made is a tileable version. This is the mechanism underneath. I wanted to keep this mechanism for all of them that I made, because it's like if you run into a lava lake that's only 1 deep, then that's kind of a problem. But well, anyway, what I'm trying to say is if you run into a lava lake that is, I think, less than 4, then the machine will get stuck, because you have to place the slime blocks there, and then you can't be attached, so it has to have this much clearance if you do kind of a normal flying machine underneath. But instead I'm utilizing observers powering through the basalt that it generates, and I just kind of kept with that. So I made a tileable version, and it works as you can see here. It went all the way through. It actually went through this gravel mound here, which is pretty cool. So then the next thing that I went off to do is create this 3-wide version that was just using one machine, because I know I could just recreate that 3 times, but I decided to make a just a 3-wide machine anyways, which, I mean, this could be tileable as well, because you just kind of switch out the slime blocks and the honey blocks for the next version. And this works decently well. You can see it went off there. And I'm actually recorded clips of me kind of doing tests of these, of kind of having them fly off and in the mistakes and things like that. So I will kind of go over the ones with these. And yeah, so it took a little while, but eventually I was kind of able to figure out the ins and outs of how they work. And then with this one, I was running into the push limit a lot. You can see I actually put that, just this one block here goes over the push limit. But I was running into a lot of trouble, but I was actually able to figure it out because of how it is. You have to have the observers right here, since it requires the 3 there, all that stuff. But yeah, you can see my pain in the clips here. So yeah, it's been a bit difficult, and to power these, like if you like tile them up or whatever, you just need a line of pistons and then power the observer here, or for this one you have terracotta and then observer right on the top, and then have all the observers power at the same time. That'll activate them all. So then I made this. I made the one and only ultimate bridge that Mumbo made in the Bedrock Edition. Now my main issue of concern were the spacing 2 apart, because that's a thing that is how it works in his video is basically he has a sticky piston that basically pushes in and out a basically this blue ice in and out here, and I can't really do that because one, what are they called? Sticky pistons can't spit out their blocks, and then two, even if I was able to figure out a way to kind of transfer on and off these, I wouldn't be able to power the pistons at the bottom, because as you can see over here, that's kind of how they're powered, is through the basalt. So I kind of needed that on the bottom. And if you wanted to create these, this is kind of showing you how to create it. I recreated the version that went off and worked. And you can kind of see it. And it's basically just 3 slime blocks, 3 honey blocks, things like that. Observer going into there. And then you can see that I've spent a decent amount of time on this. But the main issue again was kind of the basalt. So how was I gonna do this? My first idea was like just pick up every other one, which I mean is a little bit difficult in itself. But then I kind of didn't want just oh, I can't even see. But then there'd be a problem of basalt being here and just kind of dotting it here, and then it's really easy to just kind of go there and then go like that. Which, I mean, if you want that, that's fine, but I kind of felt with this kind of design, it's kind of more of a case of like, oh, you can't get up if you're in the lava and things, but you can kind of see actually that the basalt is still here, it's just pushed down one. You can kind of see if I get to the right position. But so the mechanism for doing that actually worked out over here. You can see I just kind of, because of how I was doing it, I was basically copying the world, doing it, and then making changes in this world, and then making copy, testing it, and things like that. But I was just like, I can't go back and forth with that, and things like that. So I just made one. You can kind of see the messing up and things. But eventually I came to this design, which I'll show you the kind of the machine running the test that I did right now. And so then eventually I got to this design, which works. So I made a, you can see I just let it run into this in the end, as you would have seen in the clips. But all I have is just a quick little machine that was running on a 3-piston engine, because actually I didn't mention this in the beginning, but you can kind of see it in the clips that it was, I was running it and I found that sometimes the bottom contraption followed and then sometimes it didn't, and I found out the reason for that. The reason for that is, again, the randomness of Bedrock, which is something that's kind of not favorable, but I found that in order to make it reliable, I actually had to make it 3 pistons, which isn't what Mumbo's machines do, but I mean, you gotta find a compromise somewhere in order to make it work. So I made a simple 3-piston engine, and then I got to work on how this would work. So yeah, you can kind of see the different steps of me doing it, and you can see the final end result here. And basically how it works, I actually don't need this observer. Or actually, this isn't the final version that I have on there. But you can see that I have this, basically this thing here. Mumbo mentioned it in one of his videos from, I think it was from Cube Hamster. I may be completely incorrect, but somebody kind of showed him how to do a basically a walking animation where it jumps ahead 2 each time it catches up to it. So with it jumping ahead 2, it actually gives it a little bit of time to what was I trying to say? With the jumping ahead 2, it kind of skips every other block. So whenever it pushes ahead this time, it'll go ahead 2, and then whenever it pushes ahead again, it'll go into this state, pushes ahead again, it'll push it out 2, and basically over and over again. And then I have an observer attached to this, which will power this piston, and then for the second part, it'll then push the pull the next block, things like that. But I found a couple issues, one being that I think, yes, this slime block being here, because there'll be a row of basalt here, so I had to kind of change things around. But yeah, I actually got it to work in the last remaining kind of distance that I had. I mean, I cleaned up this area, but I was able to get it working, and I know I haven't shown you any in action, but I did clone this, and it seems to be all good. So you can kind of see the diagram of how it works, and the underneath you have the same kind of thing. I was thinking maybe I would have like a slime block creation on this one, because that's what Mumbo did. Because I mean, he's trading in and out with this blue ice block, which I was thinking of kind of doing with maybe a mechanic like this. But then I realized if I did that, then it wouldn't form the basalt, and then yeah, a bunch of problems. But anyways, you're probably not here for me to explain it and show you the difficulties. And did I show you the difficulties of that one? I don't know. Here you go, if you haven't seen it. Alright, so I don't know if the clip showed or not. Anyways, let's power it. I like how compact it is. I made like 2 wide kind of slime block machines, or sticky block machines I should say now, as it's not just slime. And yeah, let's go ahead and power it. One thing that I did just want to say, it's like once I kind of figured out kind of how this was, kind of the rest was pretty easy, because I mean, if you wanted to say pull these in one more, all you have to do is like this, and then bam, you just add another section onto that. It's basically just an assembly line of how it works, because anyway, I just wanted to say that real quick before I powered it. And I may want to make a copy of this world real quick, maybe, possibly, because I don't think, because this is already a copy, but this is a copy without that one gone and this one here. I'm gonna make a copy real quick. I'll be right back. Now this world is called copy of beta, because this world is called beta, because I'm in the beta. Anyways, I haven't actually tested this, as I kind of stated before. I wanted to save it, and plus, I mean, seeing it just go there isn't that exciting, and I kind of cleared out a path that I found that went pretty far. Anyways, let's, without further ado, let's go. It looks like it's working, so you can see it's forming the basalt up front. It's then pulling the rest of it along. You can see that it goes once, it goes twice, and then it goes once, goes, once, goes. So it skips every other one, and it is working, as you can see here, which is pretty cool, and I believe we're going to see it go for quite a while, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you can see it's creating the basalt, then right here it's either a push, pull, and then right there push, pull, and then you can kind of see it skips 2, push, pull, skips 2, push, pull, and then back here it simply just gets the remaining thing back into position. If you wanted, like, for example, this indented here, you could easily just, you could probably just add it here, because this hasn't reached the limit yet, and just kind of pull or push them down in the center here if you want. But I really like how it actually just pushes them down, because it's like they're still there, they're just yeah, right here it's still there, it's just kind of put somewhere else, and you can see, yeah, it's still going. Yeah, you can see this is actually a pretty low part, but you can see it just pushes it down, and it's going pretty far. So yeah, you can just watch this go. I mean, I'm just gonna watch this go. I know what you guys are gonna do for the rest of your day, but I'm just gonna watch this continuously go down this whole thing. 'Cause it's pretty cool watching it go. So, like, if you want me to see do something with basalt generators, they're pretty new, they're pretty fancy. I've seen a couple of people do things with it, like Mumbo and El Mango, like I've mentioned several times before. If you had no idea that I would subscribe to them already. But yeah, this is pretty cool. If you want me to do something else with basalt generation, let me know. And with this kind of skip everyone, I don't know if I'd be able to do like a thing where it's like bam, nothing, nothing, bam, where it's basically, instead of skipping every one, it'd be skipping 2 at a time. I don't know if I'd be able to do that, because then that'd be encroaching on the limit, and since it's just piston after piston, I don't know if you'd be able to attach like another part to it. But you can see I added in this terracotta here to kind of, uh-oh, that's gonna run into that. Terracotta there to as a replacement for the observer that would be kind of stuck to the wall. The slime block attached to the observer, that'd be kind of stuck there. It's about to reach the end, which this, I mean, I said it's one piston slower than the design on Java, but I mean, it's still pretty fast though. It's moving like one block every 0.75 seconds, 3/4 of a second. But yeah, I haven't cleared that anymore because, hey, because there's no more lava. But it's pretty cool. Hopefully, yeah, running lava is fine. And then it's gonna run into the end here, but oh man, seeing this go, and I made a copy of this world so I can just see this over and over again. And it crashes. But yeah, overall, pretty cool machine. And oh wow, look at it made this whole bridge in like a minute. I didn't even have to put in any wool. I had to put in the work of creating in the beginning, but it's a fortified thing here, and actually an improvement compared to Mumbo's design is that it only requires 2 deep lava. It doesn't get like interrupted if it's less than 4, I think, like I was saying before. Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed making this. So if you want to see anything else basalt generated, like bridges, things like that, let me know. But anyways, a cool contraption. You can kind of see how it was created. Actually, you can see the insides right now, if you wanted to see the insides. And if I forgot to mention of any more clips, they'll be shown now. And if there aren't, or you didn't see the clips, then that's pretty much it. Just a fun little episode of going back to, fun little video of going back to Bedrock Edition, redstone. Not necessarily redstone, but, you know, same thing. Hope you guys enjoy it, and goodbye.